Hi, my name is Mike Lee G, and I have another video for you today. And this is pretty interesting in our time today. Everybody remembers the story of Cinderella, right? Cinderella, that beautiful woman with the three not so attractive sisters. Well, we have a modern day Cinderella. And today, is there hope for a modern woman, Cinderella? Okay. So Cinderella was scrubbing the floors. So she was, she was scrubbing the floors. Let me draw my stick figures. She was scrubbing the floors. There she is, Cinderella. She's beautiful, whatever. She's scrubbing the floors. That's the fair story that we talk about, this wonderful, beautiful woman scrubbing the floors and whatever. Well, that's not the modern Cinderella, I'm sorry to tell you. The modern Cinderella today is the woman that the feminist movement had filled their head, that now she can be like a man. She can have lots of sex with lots of different guys, and this way she will be happy. Well, didn't turn out too good for her. As this woman gets like this, she becomes absolutely toxic. And she gets like this because of lies, because she believes the lies. For women believe lies more because, you see, the man is the eyes, okay? The woman is the ears. Women, what you tell the woman is what she sees, because remember, she has no head. And why the sees, because the woman can't see it. With the hearing, the body, the torso still gets the vibration. So you could think of the woman, her ears are tied to her understanding. And whereas the man, it's the eyes. Okay? So now when she becomes the man and she gets these eyes and she gets all those makeup on the eyes, now she's become the modern Cinderella. She won't do nothing, but she expects the man to buy her the bag. It's interesting, because in the Bible, Judas was holding the bag. That's what she wants to do, hold that bag. So, how does she end up? How does this woman get healed? Well, the Bible actually has this woman healed. And you know what it is? A gigantic truth has to come. She has to come before truth. All right? And this is really interesting on how she responds and acts when she comes before truth. That's why you hear me say over and over again, if you're a simp, you gotta start telling the truth. If you're a Chad, stop lying to the women, because you're never going to get the woman that you want. And a little secret, Chad doesn't bag the 10s and 9s. He doesn't. Because usually Chad doesn't have the cha-chang. He doesn't have enough money to bag the 9s and 10s. So few Chads can bag the 9 and the 10. So these Chads are running game on all these women that they really don't want. To tell you, they just don't want them. So what happens when she comes before truth? How does she respond? And here we go. Luke 7:36. And a certain of the Pharisees. Now you got to be careful, you MGTOW guys, because you MGTOW guys can end up being Pharisees. Just remember that. Was asking him that night that he might eat with him, and eat, him being Jesus. And having gone into the house of the Pharisees, he reclined at meat. And lo, a woman in the city who was a sinner, having known that he reclineth at meat. Now this woman seeked out Jesus. Okay? So she was a sinner from the city, having known that he reclineth to meat at the house of the Pharisee, having provided an alabaster box of ointment. So she spent her money, got an alabaster box of ointment, and having stood beside his feet, weeping, she began to wet his feet with her tears, and with the hairs of her head, and she was wiping and kissing his feet, and was anointing with the anointment. And the Pharisees who did call him, having seen, spake him within himself, saying, This one, if he were a prophet, would have known who and what kind the woman was that doth touch him, that she is a sinner. So they're talking about a woman who's been through with a lot of guys. And what is this woman today, the modern woman who has a body count, who knows, 200 before they get to 30 years old? Who knows? Because these modern women, most women, they can go out and they can have sex with a different guy every single night. So this is, oh geez, where'd it go? Another thing. Okay. The sinner having known. Okay, reclineth meat in the house, providing alcohol. Okay. Sorry, lost my space. Okay. If Jesus was a prophet, they're saying, he would have known what kind of this woman was. So she was, you could say prostitute, you could say Chad chaser, you could say the woman, the modern woman today. And Jesus answering said unto him, Simon, I have something to say to thee. And he saith, Teacher, say on. 2 debtors were to a certain creditor. The one was owing 500 denarii, and the other 50, and they not having wherewith to give back, he forgave both. Which then of them say thou wilt love him more? And Simon answering said, I suppose that the woman who he forgave more. And he said to him, Rightly thou didst judge. And having turned unto the woman, he said to Simon, Seest thou this woman? I entered into thy house. Now this woman now, you got to remember, this woman was already a modern woman. She was already, these women have a lot of arrogance, unbelievable arrogance they have when they're dating guys. You see them on the TikTok videos or whatever. This is where they have to end up. Just remember that. These women will not be useful, good, or anything until they get to this point. So if you were going to go after one of these women, and you think you're going to change her, nah, you ain't going to do it. The best thing you can do is tell the truth and let her come to her own, coming before Jesus moment. Seest thou this woman? I entered thy house, water for my feet thou didst not give, but this woman with tears did wet my feet, and with hairs of her head did wipe. Imagine a modern woman. Imagine telling a modern woman who's chasing Chad that she, if you really want to get healed, you have to wipe my feet with your with your tears. Just imagine this. Just this is where she has to be. She has to come down to this level so that she can really understand how to be healed. She can't. She can't. These women can't. They can't come down. They're trying to go above and beyond. They're going to reach to the heavens. They think that they're going to find the right guy. They think that they're going to be finding the guy after they had this tremendous body count. It's crazy. A kiss to me that thou didst give, but this woman from what time I came in did not cease kissing my feet. With oil my head thou didst not anoint, but this woman with anointment did anoint my feet. Therefore I say unto thee, her many sins hath been forgiven, because she did love much. But to whom little is forgiven, little he doth love. And he said to her, Thy sins have been forgiven. And those reclining with him at meat began to say within themselves, Who is this who also doth forgive sins? And he said unto the woman, Thy faith hath saved thee. Be going on in peace. You see, this woman, the modern woman today, the boss babes, these women that have the huge body count, they are now, they're up here in the stratosphere. They need to come down. You cannot be with this woman if she still has the head in the clouds. Okay? So you do not tell her to lower her standards. All you need to do is you meet her, whatever you find out, hit her with the truth. Say, listen, I can't be with you. You got too much of a body count. There's just no way. It's just not going to happen. If you're simping for a girl, whether she has a big body count or not, you need to be in the truth. Because if you're not in the truth, you're going to become a prisoner to the woman. And I love the fact that these simps they have a chain around their neck like a dog for the women that they're simping for. Because you're the one that makes the women, you take them off the market, raising their head, and then they go for Chad. So you need to start talking the truth. Now, a lot of guys in some of these videos, they say, well, if you tell the truth, she's not going to be interested. I go, you guys got it backwards. You guys got it backwards. The truth is the power. Lying is not the power. Because in the end, you're going to get lied to. And let me tell you, I don't care how slick guys are, eventually you're going to run into the anchor. The anchor baby. Okay? Because you're like playing Russian roulette, thinking that a woman won't anchor baby you. And you could be, it's like, it's a weird thing. Like if you take martial arts, you could take it for so many years, and you win, and maybe you can retire and never lost. Okay? Maybe you didn't go professional, but you never lost. But there's always somebody there that can beat you up. There always is. But if you never run into that person, you had a pretty, you won all your tournaments. I mean, of course, there's training, whatever. It's a good feeling, You don't want to meet the woman that anchor babies you. So the way you avoid this is by speaking the truth. And what's going to happen is, even the women that you're attracted to, that you want to get with, God will keep you away from the ones that'll give you trouble. It's unbelievable how this happens. Like, you'll dodge the bullet. And the same thing I tell the women, I said, your heads are getting way too big. But you can't talk to the woman. Because, remember, the woman now has already been listening to the feministas. Her head is already in the clouds. She's looking for Chad with cash. And if she's not going to get Chad with cash, then she's looking for somebody that's got lots of cash. So, can these women be repaired? Yeah. But you know what's going to happen? They're going to have to hit the ground. They're going to have to hit the ground. And if you're a guy, you want to put yourself together. You're a young guy. Don't be simping for them. Don't try and save them. You want to save them? Tell them the truth. Let them. I go through life like this. When I meet a lot of people, I meet lots of people, and women, men, and what I do is when I speak to these people, I put something in their heads. It's like a grenade, okay? It's a grenade, The grenade, it doesn't matter if I ever see the person again. I'm always lopping these grenades in. And when I'm talking to someone, I'm not talking to their head. I'm always talking to the spirit. Yes. So why? By talking to the spirit, because the head is the problem. So if I talk to the spirit will do something to help the person. Okay? So this grenade goes into the body, and it talks to the spirit and makes an impact. And that's the point of these videos, to make an impact so that you can come to the knowledge of truth, to speak truth. Men, women, once you start speaking truth, a lot of the problems will go away. Because if you really track back all the times that you tried to get over, and Jordan Peterson says this too, which is good. He says he's never seen someone getting away with something. You can't get away with something. It always comes back to get you. So, don't be jealous of Chad. If Chad's going to meet all these women that are after him, believe me, you do not want to be by them. The only women that might be recycled are the ones that start looking to scrub the tears, scrub your feet with tears. It's a mindset. I'm not saying that she's going to exactly do that, but it's now she knows who she is. Now she knows. And if you're in a relationship with someone and then all of a sudden you find out that she's got a 200-person body count and she didn't tell you that, and then you do find out, and then the tears start, no, I'm sorry. There's no sorrow there. There's no sorrow there. You're probably going to have to leave. You're probably going to have to leave. Because there's nothing that you can do to impress this woman. It's really, really, really hard impressing a woman with a high body count. It's like, I mean, she could probably try and hide it for a long time, but you see, here's what happens. When you try and hide something in the body, the spirit knows the truth. And what the spirit does is it kind of makes a person uncomfortable. And the spirit creates a situation where they will out themselves. That's why women out themselves, because the spirit forces them to say something. Guys out themselves all the time too. The difference is that the woman might be caught up in chasing Chad or chasing money, that she knows the truth. You got to remember, enablers, let me just say this again, enablers willfully sacrifice the truth. Willfully. Okay? If you're dealing with a psychopath or narcissist, there's lying to you. That's one thing. Because they know they have intent. But if you're the enabler to the narcissist, you see, you know better. You know better. And that's why in a relationship, when the man's the narcissist and the woman is the enabler, okay, and she knows better and she says yes when she really means no, they're locked in now. They're locked in. You do not want to say yes when the truth is no, because a simp is an enabler as well. And there's dumb enablers or blind enablers, and then there's cunning enablers, cunning or covert narcissists. Okay, so I keep swinging back to this all the time because this is really important. If you're going to get into a relationship with someone who has a high body count, if she doesn't realize that she's got to be wiping feet with her hairs and tears, you want nothing to do with her. If she's haughty, if she thinks that she's like better than sliced bread, forget it. All you're going to be is a slave. You're going to be as a slave. And you're not going to like where you end up. Hope this helps. God bless.